Level 1. The Village Child. You do not choose this life. It is issued to you, the way a number is issued to a house. There is a speaker on a pole outside your window. It has no switch. It has no volume. It was here before you were born, and it will be here after you are gone. And every morning of your life, it will tell you what to think before you are awake enough to think anything else. Somewhere above you there is a ladder, 10 rung. You have been told the ladder is a gift. Nobody has told you what happens to the men at the top. You are 7 years old the first time you understand that you have a file. Not a name, a file. Your grandfather did something 40 years before you were born. Nobody will tell you what. And because of it, your family is written into a category. And the category sits in an office you will never enter. And it decides what you are allowed to become. Your teacher knows it. Your neighbors know it. You will spend your whole life trying to climb out of a sentence somebody else finished. On the wall of your house hang 2 portraits, higher than anything else in the room. You are taught to dust them with a cloth used for nothing else, and once a month a man from the neighborhood watch runs a finger along the frames to check. At school you learn arithmetic like this. A brave soldier kills 4 enemies. His comrade kills 3. How many are dead? You are hungry. Everyone is hungry. So hunger is not something you notice, the way you do not notice air. The boy in the house behind yours asks his mother a question out loud, in the street. By spring, that house is empty. You are 7. You learn that your mind has a door, and you learn to keep it shut. Level 2. The Factory Worker. You do not apply for work. Work is assigned to you, and yours is a cement plant 2 valleys from the house you were born in. The quota is painted on a board at the gate, fresh every month, and it has never once gone down. The power fails at 11 most mornings. When it fails, you keep working in the dark, because the quota does not know about electricity. Your hands crack. Your cough arrives in the second winter and never really leaves. The dust settles in your eyebrows and makes you look old in photographs you will never see. Your wage is a number on a slip of paper, and it buys almost nothing. What actually feeds you is your mother, who walks 11 kilometers to a market that officially does not exist, and sells rice cakes to people who officially do not buy them, and comes home with money the state says she does not have. Everyone at the plant does this. The foreman does this, the man who reports on the foreman does this, and every morning all of you stand in the yard and sing about the abundance of the harvest. This is the year you understand the shape of your country. It is not a lie told to you by someone. It is a lie you help hold up with both hands. Level 3. The Soldier. They take you at 17, and they keep you for 10 years. You imagined a rifle. What you get is a shovel. You cut a road through a mountain with a shovel and a wheelbarrow and 40 other boys, and when the road is finished, you build a monument at the end of it. Your uniform is 2 sizes too big, so it will still fit you in the year you stop growing. You are issued 3 rounds of ammunition. You never fire them. You clean them every day for a decade. The army does not feed you. The army feeds the capital. So at night you go into the fields of the farmers you are protecting and you take their corn. And in the morning you stand at attention while an officer explains that the people love the soldier as a son. In your 9th year they post you to the river. The river is 30 meters wide. On the far bank there are lights that stay on all night, and nobody has ever explained to you why. Your orders are simple, and one night a shape goes into the water. You do what you were told to do. Then you learn the last lesson the army has for you. The enemy has your accent. Level 4. The Party Candidate. A man notices that you obey well. That is the entire qualification. You are recommended. And recommendation is the only door in this country that opens from the outside. Now come the study night. You memorize speeches. You copy them by hand into a notebook that will be inspected. Your handwriting is graded. And then there is the session. Once a week, you sit in a circle and criticize yourself out loud. Small things, safe things, laziness, an unpolished pin. Then you criticize the man beside you. Sincerity is measured by what it costs you, so a stranger is worth nothing. You have to give them someone real. You give them Cholman, your friend since the cement plant. You say he complained about the quota. 1 sentence, half a joke, 11 months ago. The room writes it down. You are approved. They give you a pin for your chest, a winter coat that actually closes, and a ration that includes meat twice a month. In the autumn, Cholman's family is reassigned to a mining district in the north, and his mother, who fed you once, does not look at your mother in the road. You wear the pin. It weighs nothing. You have never carried anything heavier. Level 5. The Pyongyang Resident. Then a paper arrives with a stamp on it, and you are permitted to live in the capital. Nobody simply lives in Pyongyang. Pyongyang is a privilege that can be revoked, and you carry it the way you carry a full glass through a crowd. The city is beautiful, genuinely beautiful, and this is the part nobody prepares you for. 10-lane boulevards with 11 cars on them, towers in pink and mint and pale yellow. A woman in a blue uniform directing traffic that is not there, turning on her heel with the precision of a clock. You are given an apartment on the 15th floor of a building where the water reaches the 6th. You carry it up in buckets, and slowly you start to see it. The tower with no floors inside. The shop front with the same 6 tins in the window all year. The apartment block painted only on the side the delegation bus drives past. The whole city is a photograph taken from one exact angle. And now you live inside the frame. 200 kilometers away, your mother is still walking 11 kilometers with a basket. Your permit does not extend to her. You have not escaped anything. You have only moved closer to the camera. Level 6, the propaganda officer. You write well. In a country where every man is trying to be invisible, writing well is a dangerous talent, and they find it. Now you sit on the 3rd floor of a gray building with a typewriter and a list of approved adjectives. You write the morning broadcast. You write about the harvest. You have seen the harvest. You have stolen from the harvest with your own hand. And you write that it is the greatest in the history of the Republic, in a sentence so clean that a farmer standing in a bare field will hear it and not laugh. And here is the thing nobody warned you about. There is a speaker on a pole outside a house in a valley 200 kilometers from here. It has no switch. Underneath it, a boy of 7 is waking up. The voice he hears is yours. You put the pen down. Then you pick it up again, because the deadline is 4 o'clock, and the man who missed a deadline in this office in March is teaching literature in Shagang province now, if he is teaching anything. 6 rungs up the ladder, and your reward is to become the speaker on the pole. Level 7, the inspector. Good writers understand what people mean. That skill has another use, and in your 11th year in the capital, they move you into a department with no sign on the door. Now you read. You read the neighborhood watch reports. A woman who kept her light on late. A man who quoted a foreign song. A family whose relative across the border sent money that arrived as a new roof. You read letters that will be resealed and delivered on time. You listen to a tape of 2 men complaining about the price of soybean oil, and you decide which one of them was joking. Then you sign. A signature moves a family 400 kilometers. In April, a report crosses your desk from a valley you know. Illegal trading, rice cakes, 11 kilometers on foot, twice a week for 30 years. Your mother's name, spelled correctly. You read it twice. You write at the bottom that the allegation is unfounded. You sign it, you file it, and nothing happens. Nothing happens for 9 days. Then, a colonel you have never spoken to stops beside your desk, remarks that your mother is surely a hard-working woman, and walks away. He does not want anything, not yet. He only wanted you to know that he has it. Level 8, the escort. Compromised men are the most reliable men in the country. That is not a flaw in the system. That is the system. So they check you. 3 generations, both families, every school, every posting. They measure your height because you may not be taller. They check your teeth, your eyesight, your wife's cousins. And then you are standing in a room with him. You will never look at his face. You look at the middle of his back, at the space around him, at the hands of every other man present. You learn to walk backwards without turning. You learn that 11 of the 20 men in the room are watching the other 9. None of the rules are written down. Never speak first. Never be photographed at his shoulder. Never remember anything said in a corridor. You are the closest man in the Republic to the sun, and this is described to you as an honor by people who are very careful never to stand this close. Your predecessor stood exactly here for 4 years. You have never been told his name. His locker had a name scratched off it. Every night your wife asks how your day was, and you say, normal. You are lying to protect her. It is the only kind of love you have left. Level 9, the inner circle. At 54, you are given a chair at a long table, and with it, the most dangerous object in the country. The real numbers. The actual harvest. The actual currency. The actual count of how many left, how many are held, what the plant produces, and what the plant is reported to produce. For 30 years, you recited a country. Now they hand you the other one, the one that exists. In a folder you are not permitted to carry out of the room. You cannot unlearn it. And a man who knows the true numbers is never again allowed to be a private citizen, or a traveler, or an old man who retires to the coast. So you survive by an arithmetic that has nothing to do with economic. When he finishes speaking, everybody claps. You watch from the corner of your eye, and you hold your hands half a second longer than the man on your left, and half a second less than the man on your right. Stop first, and you are arrogant. Stop last, and you are performing, which means you are hiding something. Your father dusted 2 portraits with a special cloth. You have spent 40 years learning to applaud at precisely the correct speed. The ladder has 10 rungs. This is 9. Level 10, the ghost. It does not start with soldiers. It starts with a chair. In March, you arrive at the long table, and your chair is one place further from the center. Nobody mentions it. In April, the folder is not set in front of you. In May, your driver is replaced by a polite young man who does not know the route to your house. Nothing is ever said out loud. In this country, nothing is ever said out loud. The sentence is delivered as a seating plan, and then you are simply not there. Not dead, erased. The parade photograph is reprinted with 11 men in it instead of 12, and the reprint is hung in a museum where school children will be walked past it in rows. The documents you signed for 30 years are reissued under another name. Your title goes to a man of 40 who is grateful and terrified, and who will last 4 years. Your wife is moved. Your son is moved. Your grandchildren, who did nothing at all, are given a file, a category, written into an office they will never enter, that decides what they are allowed to become. 3 generations, exactly what your grandfather did to you. You reach the top of the ladder. There was no landing. There was never a landing. It was a chute the whole time, and every rung was cut for the man climbing behind you. 200 kilometers from the capital, it is 5:45 in the morning, and a speaker on a pole is warming up. Underneath it, a boy of 7 is waking. The voice tells him about the greatest harvest in the history of the Republic. It is a sentence you wrote in 1994. It has outlived every man who ever climbed for it. The boy does not laugh. He is learning that his mind has a door. He will keep it shut. And the ladder will be there in the morning, painted fresh. It has never once gone down.